What is up, Keller Williams agents? It is me, Sam Jackson, Director of Innovation Technology for the Georgia Legacy Group and MAPS Coach. And today, I'm excited to jump right into a session on campaigns inside of the new campaigns tool. So this was an update that hit command in late 2023, so probably about the time that you're watching this video, shortly after. New features, some really cool things I want to dig into, but I'm going to treat this session like your very first ad in the new campaigns feature. Let's jump right in. And as always, first things first, let's go ahead and make myself significantly smaller out of the way so we can jump into command. So step number one is log into command. So once you're logged in, you should be on your homepage, should look something somewhat to mine. But then we're going to jump right into the campaigns tool inside of command. So whether this is new to you with the new feature or this is your first time using campaigns, what we're going to jump into is this icon over here that looks like the megaphone applet. We're going to click on campaigns. Give a second to load. All right, now this is going to land us on the dashboard. This is where we're going to see different suggestions for all of the different tools that we can do inside of campaigns. But for today's series or today's session, we're going to focus on just the Facebook ads component. So what we're going to do is we're going to move up to the top right-hand corner here, and we're going to click on Create Campaign, this green button. When I do that, I'm going to be prompted to create my campaign type. So there are several options inside of KW Command. We have direct mail. Yes, in case you didn't know, you can send postcards through Command, and it's dynamite. There's email campaigns, social post, and yet for today, what we're focusing on is this one right here in the bottom right, which is paid ads. We're going to pay for an ad today. And this does take a second to load occasionally, but it should take us right into our new campaigns feature inside of command. All right, there we go. So this is your dashboard. I want to explain a couple of things before we get into the actual nitty gritty, which then should be familiar to you. But some really, really important key details with this new setup inside of command. Number one, before I go deep into this, as of today, as I'm saying this recording in October of 2023 or November 2023, what we're looking at is that if I were to create a campaign, feel free to work along with me, hit pause on this video if you need to, but just know that once you start this process, there is no saving for a draft. So you do have to start and finish all in one session. So just know that before we jump in, if you want to watch this video a few times, get the feel for it, or have me up on one screen as you're going through this, you should be fine. But the key thing is I cannot build this, save it as draft, and then come back later. We have to do it in one shot. But let's jump in. As we're on the dashboard, you're going to see a couple of different things here. We're going to have these different cards, if you will, that defines the type of ad that we're going to run. So you'll see that this is a listing because it has this purple house. You'll see this one that's just a generic ad icon because it's a non-listing. We have things in here for attract buyers, sellers, recruiting even. But the other thing you're going to notice inside these cards is where we're going to advertise. So in case you didn't know, Facebook owns Instagram, and both of those companies are rolled up into a parent company called Meta. So we'd be advertising on Meta. And this isn't a choice of picking Facebook or Instagram. It's always going to be a Facebook and Instagram as we move forward through there. So that's Facebook and Instagram. The other thing to kind of notice as you select your ads is you're going to have a blue bubble here that says includes Facebook lead form, or you're going to have a yellow one that says uses your landing page lead form. And the difference there, and this is super important, if I were to select a card here that has a blue form, that means that Facebook, or Instagram in this case, is going to be creating a form that captures the lead information for us on their site, that being Facebook or Instagram. If I choose yellow, this means that I'm going to be advertising. I'm going to direct people to my website, and it's going to be up to my website to convert those leads. And the big difference here is lead conversion. I would not recommend the yellow cards or the yellow bubbles in these cards of using your land page unless you have a really strong website that does lead capture. Otherwise, I want to leave this task of actually doing the lead capture up to Facebook and Instagram. So what I would encourage you, at least as until you get really familiar and you start to become an expert in marketing and advertising, I would recommend take the easy buttons, which would be any of these blue lead forms that we have for Facebook. Now, the other thing, if you're advertising a listing is typically the best bait, the best content that we have that gets us the most leads. So my recommendation as of today, and this changes, so don't take this as gospel, but as of today, I'm focusing on a listing that is a single image using Facebook's lead capture form. So I'm going to click on this first card here and create my ad. I would recommend that, especially as you get started. It's not complicated. Let's get familiar with the system, but that's the way we want to go. And as this loads, this will start to look familiar if you're used to the old platform. And I'm on some slow Wi-Fi today. Yours probably is not nearly as slow as mine, so pardon the delay on the spinny wheel here. All right, so now my page is loaded, and I'll move my face over here to the bottom left now, kind of out of the way. I'm going to see kind of a familiar kind of flow to this. That is, I kind of scroll here kind of through it. You're going to see there's different sections that I'm going to need to complete, kind of in the center part of your screen. And then over on the right, I'm going to begin to see the preview of my ad come to life. So we're going to kind of work in the center area, and then we're going to build out on the right. Now, one of the things that it's really hard to kind of demonstrate on a video, but you kind of need to kind of follow the flow, would be step number one is really connecting your Facebook page. So if you come into here and it says Facebook page and you do not have a connection, you should see a choice to link a new page or to link a Facebook profile. Go through that first. It may or may not kick you back all the way to here where you need to start over and select that card again, but you do have to select a Facebook page. And the way you know if yours is connected or not is just like when I logged in, I'll see that my page is actually showing up already. So I'm seeing the Georgia Lacey Group handle coming into my Facebook ad. So if you need to collect a new page or connect a page, you're going to see a button here that should be really obvious that you need to click on. So go through that process. It's going to have you log into command, or excuse me, it's going to have you log into Facebook, sign into your account, select some pages, and you should be good to go. But after that, what I'd recommend is jump down to listings. So once your Facebook page is connected, we're going to go select a listing. Now, I always recommend a listing as the content because this is what gets us clicks. This is what people that get excited and they click on these things when they see, ooh, pretty house on Facebook. Now, if you do not have a listing, what I'd recommend is go get permission from somebody in your market center, your office, your territory that has a listing. Get their permission in writing, ideally, and then advertise a listing. Don't try and do something else. Don't try to do something creative. And if you're struggling on, well, how do I ask that? Let me help you, because this dialogue has never failed me. Hey, top agent, I don't have any listings right now, but I would love to actually spend a little bit of my own money to advertise your listing in city. Would it be okay if I run a couple of Facebook ads for that property? That would be a win-win for your sellers. I'd be more than happy to run the ad and actually share some metrics afterwards that shows the amount of targeted buyers that saw this advertisement because of the ad. Would that work with you? I've used some type of dialogue along that way every time. Never once have I had an objection of someone saying no. What listing agent wouldn't want another agent spending money to advertise their listing to get the thing sold? So just make sure that you have written permission to do so. We always want to make sure that we have the proper documentation of that process. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click Add Listing, assuming that I've gotten that permission. And you're going to see that you can come in here and you can search by addresses, you can search by MLS addresses, you can search by agent, you can search by a bajillion things in here. So if that agent's popping up, you can go find them. So I can do that. I'm going to type in Peters, who are in my organization. I probably should put more information in there. We'll see what comes up. But it's okay. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to grab something random here. You will notice that there are some properties that are sold off market. You just want to pay attention to your local guidelines. Let me just go back to city. I'm going to type in my hometown of Alpharetta. Now again, get permission. I'm just doing this for the sake of time today. I'm going to go grab this active listing here, 175 Pruitt Drive in Alpharetta, Georgia. Looks like a good price point to do this. And as I do that, just like before, we're going to see that information start to pull in. So you can see that my ad is adjusting over here on the right-hand side. Price came in, location came in, and some of the ad is starting to come to life. Now, I'm going to share some best practices with you. I would not just send as is. Pay attention to the details here. But once I have my listing, I'm going to scroll on down and we're going to do targeting. And we're going to do targeting based on listing location. Now, again, some of these things may change, so pay attention to the videos we post over time. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, because if there are updates to this practice, I'd share them there. But right now, what's working well is doing the listing location plus a 15-mile radius. So I'm actually not changing the setting right now. This would be dropping a pin on the center of Alpharetta, where this listing is, and then drawing a 15-mile radius around it. Now, I do get asked the question of, well, what if I already live far away from that listing? Should I still do that? If you live far away from that listing and then another 15 miles on top of that would be really, really far away, I would maybe change the location to where you live and then target a 15, 20-mile radius. But just follow some best practices. But the key thing is I probably don't want to go up to 50 miles, because that's going to be targeting way too far of a radius that I just don't want to drive to go show people around. So I like to go a little bit smaller here, because this is my farm. Now, if I wanted to, I could create a custom location in which it says here you have up to 10 locations that you can put in here. Now, if I have a luxury one, this would be a great opportunity that I can go advertise in New York City. I could go target California. I can put in several different locations here that maybe people that are on the luxury market might be moving to my territory. But again, just going to kind of simplify things. We're just going to do the listing location and 15 miles. Then from there, we're going to do media type. Now, if you remember, when we built the ad or selected the ad, we're going to do a single image. Now, for me, I don't know this property, but I'm assuming that the first image is probably the best. You can look at this up against your MLS photos, but you should see a little tiny thumbnail here of what that photo looks like. Now, if I click on that one, my ad should update over here on the right-hand side, and I can see that. But I would recommend use that HGTV-like shot that you have. It's usually your front exterior, that image number 1. Yep, that one looks good enough too. So I'm just going to leave that, but it's probably in your first 1 to 3, 1 to 5 photos. Next is the text. So this is where you start to see the text over here from the ad come in. Now, I would recommend blow this up. We do not want this in here. I do not ever want to give the address, and I typically don't like to give the price point inside my advertisement. There's an old sales dialogue that says, spilling your candy in the lobby. I don't want to give away too much too early. I want to make sure that I'm able to kind of have my pitch. If I give them every bit of information in the ad itself, why would they click on the ad? So I want to reserve the city. I want to reserve the street address, definitely, because I don't want them to take that address and go paste it onto another website. So I'm going to edit this. Now, the cool thing is this new feature. If you see this little magic wand button, this is actually an AI integration that we have now, to where I can have an artificial intelligence suggest a new piece of copy. And so when I click on that suggest with AI button, it's going to rewrite the description for me here. And I can actually change the style to be more artistic, practical, vibrant, caring, emotional. Maybe I'll do emotional and ask it to write it again. Cool. Don't miss this perfect home with 4 beds, 3 baths, and over 200. Yeah, it looks good to me. Now the key thing is I'm going to shorten this. It's going to throw an exclamation point there at the end, and I'm going to apply. Not going to overthink it. People don't read a ton of this stuff. That's okay. Now, the key thing is I'm going to do the same thing with my street address. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to do the magic wand button, and I'm going to ask suggestion through AI. And again, this should be short and sweet. Immaculate 4-bed, 3-bathroom in sought-after Alpharetta neighborhood. I'm going to get rid of that 4-bed, 3 baths because I believe we already mentioned that. Just do immaculate home in sought-after Alpharetta neighborhood. Hit apply. Now, the AI is great. I'm smarter. Just kidding. But the key thing is I definitely want to edit, but I can take the suggestions from AI and build upon it. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to come down here to do the post lead submission required. So this is just a really fancy way to say is once somebody clicks on the ad, Facebook converts or captures their information. What happens after they fill out this post lead submission? What happens after they fill out the form? Now, what I recommend is going to your website. Now, I would not go to just samjackson.kw.com. Oh, wrong website. Sorry there. I'm not going to take them to samjackson.kw.com and just have them go to my landing page they have no idea how to find this property on their own. However, I do want to send them to 175 Pruitt, which I believe was that property. I'm going to hit search. And hopefully it's going to pick up my location because I'm in Alpharetta today. I may have to refine my search there. Yeah, let me zoom into Alpharetta. Oh, it found it. Cool. It caught up to me. So don't be alarmed if you see two listings in Georgia. We have two MLSs here. I'm going to select on one, but I do want to click on the actual listing. I want to get to this point to where I'm showing them the actual listing. And then here is where I want to actually send people to once they click on my ad. So to make sure that this process works inside of Command, I'm going to click up here where the URL is, and I'm going to copy this information. Now, again, I'm on a little bit slower Wi-Fi today, so I think it's on me. These pages are loading slow, but this is going to allow me to go back to Command, and underneath the enter URL, I'm going to paste over this information. And if I want to preview that to make sure it works, I can click the preview button. I trust myself. I know I did it right. Then from here, again, step by step, I'm just going down. The next thing up is lead settings. So I have a team account, so therefore I see lead routing settings. If you do not have a team, you will not see this button that says lead routes, and that's okay. I will have a tags option. Everyone, regardless of whether you're a team or a solo agent, you will see tags and smart plans here. So tags, these are all the different tags I have inside my database. I can also create one. So I can say Facebook ad, and then specifically this one's from Pruitt. And I can create that as a new tag. Therefore, any lead that comes in will automatically get that tag that says Facebook ad Pruitt. Then I can also trigger a smart plan immediately. So I believe I have a bunch inside of my smart plan library already. But if I were to type the word Facebook, this is going to pull the ones that I have. I have a Sam Jackson Facebook ad follow-up. That's the one that I use. Lead comes in, they get tagged as Facebook ad Pruitt or whatever custom thing you're going to do there. And they'll automatically get triggered on my smart plan, which is my Facebook follow-up smart plan. So they'll start getting that communication from me. Done with that, scroll on down to compliance. Now, pay attention to your local laws here. I know that I'm based in Georgia. I'm talking to my folks here in Georgia. However, every state is a lot different from the next. So consult with your local broker, your local office if you need some more information here. Typically for us here in the state of Georgia, because we're advertising a listing, we do need to have a DBA logo. So this will be that Keller Williams logo. And then we also do need to include our ownership statement for us, which is each office is independently owned and operated. I know some states actually require a ton more information there, but please consult your local leadership. And then once I'm good with this, I just want to do a little sneak peek. Everything looks good over here in my ad copy on the right. I'm going to click proceed to the last step. And this is where we're picking the duration and budget for our ads. So I can choose to schedule it today. So I'm recording this video on 11/1. So I can choose to schedule this today. It'll go out today and I can run it through whatever date I decide. For me, I'm actually not mad about this. So it's already in the afternoon. So this would start Wednesday afternoon, run through Monday morning. That's a pretty good time period for me. I like that. But the key thing here is I'm going to set my budget. Now, the thing that I pay attention to the most is I really, really want to focus on this daily spend here. I did not mean to do that button. I want to pay attention to the daily spend here. So that's where I'm looking at. I want to be ideally around $5 to $7 per day. $8.33 is kind of overkill. So I actually want to take my budget down probably to, let's say, like $42, not $42,500, $42. That puts me at like the max end of my range, which is 7. I wouldn't go above that. Like this is a pretty healthy spend for a Facebook ad, but we're good to go there. And then the last piece is I'm going to put my billing information in. Now, this is where I'm going to stop the recording. You're not going to see me put my credit card on the internet, but this is the last step for you would be go ahead and put your credit card number information in here. You will get charged immediately for the ad. So if I were to put my credit card in, it will hit $42. I will get charged from that. If I do decide to stop the campaign, you would see a spot in there in which I can actually get a refund in a couple of days. But you got to put your billing information in and then just hit purchase now, and your ad is running. And look at you. You did it. You are now an advertiser on Facebook. So really simple process, a little bit different from what you may be used to if this is a new feature for you, but also a lot of elements that feel the same of like, I just need to take my time, work at the top, work my way down, and it's super, super simplified now. We got cool things like AI. We got some really cool ad things in here. So go be brave, go run an ad, go run a campaign, and let me know your results. Drop me a comment back on this video, whether you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else. I want to know, how did it go for you? Thanks for watching, and as always, stay in command. I'll see you.